Live from Darfeasy Studios in Eddyville, Kentucky. It's time for the Easy Kane Show. Tonight, we break down horror movies. Your host, Darfeasy, and Randy Cage! Woo! God, I'm scared. Alright, guys, I'm Darfeasy.
I'm Randy Cage.
And this is episode 93 of the Easy K Show.
Our Halloween themed
This
episode.
is our Halloween themed episode as a ghost just appeared and almost took our life.
What did we do last year for Halloween? Nothing?
Last year we did top 10 space movies.
Oh, makes sense.
Well, First Man came out.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, let's do space movies.
Cool.
And here's the thing about this list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love horror movies.
No.
And I think it's fair to say that you don't love horror movies either.
Nah.
So I just want to make an official apology out to everyone who listens to this episode, because this episode is not going to be for the straight up horror fans.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big horror guy. I've over the past few years, I've gone back and watched some horror movies that I've really enjoyed, and some of those movies are on this list. But I haven't gone back and watched, like, for instance, I have no Jasons. Mm-hmm. I got no Friday the 13th in there, or that's the same thing.
Yep.
I have no Nightmare on Elm Street movies, or Texas Chainsaw movies.
Yep.
Because it's just, I'd never watched any of them. Yep. I recorded the first Friday the 13th on YouTube TV the other night week because it was Friday the 13th. So I found it on TV and recorded it. And I might watch it this Halloween. But I didn't feel like, because we only had a week to do this episode.
Yep.
Because
someone's going on vacation.
Randy Cage is going off to the beautiful shores of Hawaii or Florida, however way you want to look at it. So yeah, that's just how it was. So
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't have any what a lot of people consider to be classics. I got a chance to watch one this week, and I really enjoyed it. There's one that I really want to see that I found on everybody, because, you know, when I look up other people's lists, the one with Kevin Costner. Or not Kevin Costner. Anyways.
I can't see Kevin Costner.
No, it's not Kevin
movie.
Costner. It's, what's his name? From Guardians.
Chris Pratt.
No, his dad.
Oh, you're talking about The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
I've never seen it. So
I haven't
either.
But it's on a lot of people's lists. Dorina, all the Collider people say
it's just not for me.
So I was just like,
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I haven't seen it, but anyways.
All right, let's get down to this list.
Okay.
Once we have Ray Cage to set a topic, we'll go our separate ways and compile our own separate top 10s. I'll do my 10 through 8. He'll do his 10 through 8. I'll do my 7 through 6. And you'll do your 7 through 6. Then we'll trade one apiece. Once we have compiled our own separate top 10s, we will create the show between the two of us. All right, so you went first last time, so it's my turn to go first. So my number 10 is a movie that just came out last year.
Okay.
And you absolutely hated it, and you can't believe I hated my top 10 movies of the year last year.
Oh, yeah? What was
my
it?
number 10 is Upgrade.
Oh, yeah. I did hate this movie. Gosh, this movie will just not go away. I figured, we're finally out of 2018. Nope, it's coming back.
It's coming back, baby. Well, it's just because I was just, like, looking at my movies, and I was just like, I really love the horror elements of Upgrade, because Upgrade was a really cool, like, it felt like more of like an action-y sci-fi movie. But at the end of the movie, the computer takes over the guy's mind, and it completely becomes a horror movie as he's basically killing all these people. And it has a very bleak ending, a very cool little horror movie kind of thing to it. And that's what I really enjoyed about this movie. And that was the thing I just did not see coming. I should have saw it coming, because it was made by Blumhouse, who's kind of reinvigorated the horror genre the past few years. I mean, the 2010s has really made some really good horror movies. Some of them are on my list, some of them are not, but from like the Paranormal Activity films to this, so it's just cool seeing that, and it's actually getting me to go into the theater to go watch horror movies, because 10 years ago, I would never go see a horror movie at theaters, and now I finally got the courage to go see a horror movie. So yeah, that's my number 10. Any thoughts about it?
Everybody knows my thoughts about this movie. Just go back and watch previous versions. But yeah, I'm cool with it on the list. You like it, so
okay.
Doesn't offend me.
All right, my number 9 is a film some people may not consider it a horror movie, but it is absolutely a horror movie. My number 9 from a a director you may have heard of, James Cameron. My number 9 is The Terminator.
This is in my honorable mentions.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's made cheap because horror movies are made for like $5 and then they make like $10. So, and you have Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. He's the Terminator who goes back in time to hunt down and kill every Sarah Connor in existence. That's a horror movie right there. And it also it's got some cool little sci-fi stuff to it, and then so it's got some great one-lines. I mean, I'll be back, and I love this movie. It's a very cool little horror movie. I like Terminator 2 more, but I love how the first movie is a straight-up horror movie, and the second one turns into an action film.
It's kind of the James Cameron thing. You get to the Alien was the horror, even though he didn't do that one, right?
No, Alien, he did Aliens.
Aliens is the action. Then he did Terminator, which is the horror. Terminator 2, which is the action.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely agree with this. It's in my honorable mentions.
Okay, so at least we're in agreement there.
Yep.
My number 8 is... I had to throw in a little classic Alfred Hitchcock because he was always known as the master of horror. I was struggling because I have another movie on this list, which is the more iconic Alfred Hitchcock horror film.
Mm-hmm.
My number 8, though, I went with Strangers on a Train.
Oh yeah, that's a punt.
Okay.
No.
So, Strangers on a Train basically is this guy, he goes onto a train, he's talking to his guy, he's basically bitching about his wife and how he wants to get a divorce, and basically the two strangers are basically, it's like, well, what if we just agree, I'll kill your wife, and then you kill mine, and that's basically the movie, and basically he's like, oh yeah, we'll do it, joking around, but the guy actually does kill his wife, so, and it just turns into this really cool little, it's more of a thriller than a horror movie, but it's just so good. I mean, it's just such a great premise. And it's just from the great Alfred Hitchcock, who's made one of my favorite films. I mean, from this, North by Northwest, Rear Window, and then there's another one, like I said, it's on my list. I almost put Dial M for Murder, which is another really cool Alfred Hitchcock kind of horror thriller, where basically this guy, he's married to Grace Kelly, who calls who basically he sees an old friend who says, hey, how about you kill my wife, I'll give you all this money, and it's a cool little
Did Alfred Hitchcock really want to kill his wife?
Do what?
Did Alfred Hitchcock really want to kill his wife?
I don't know.
It's 2 movies about killing his wives.
Alright, so yeah, that's my tip to rate.
Alright. Well,
did Stranger on a Train sound interesting to you to watch?
The plot sounded pretty interesting, but you know my feeling about anything pre-1980.
That's right.
I struggled with 10 and 11. I went back and forth. I finally went with this year's release of Us.
Okay. So I'm assuming 11 was Get Out?
11 was Jaws.
Okay.
So it was that I really did struggle, but I felt like I want to go with Us. I'm guessing you don't have it on your list.
No.
Because I really did like this film. It's really creepy. It's great performances. And I feel like it's going to be a kind of rewatchable movie, something I'll want to buy later on down the road because it's a very deep movie and there's a lot going on. And I don't know, I enjoyed it. It's got slasher elements. It's got some weird, creepy. I don't know, like
it's got some really creepy imagery,
second dimension stuff going on.
Well, this is my favorite movie of 2019 so far.
Yeah,
and I will be shocked if it's not in my top 5. The rest of this year is just going to be damn good.
Yeah,
it's just the way this movie is shot. Everything Jordan Peele directing and shooting is just so masterfully, classically done. And there's nothing in this movie that really scared me. So maybe that's why I didn't put it in my top 10. But I just love the movie so much. I just love the imagery. I love the stuff he says about society. And then and then the performances were good too. It's also got some really funny moments too. And I love all the acting in the movie. It just I couldn't put it on my list because it didn't scare me at all.
All right. My number 9 is A Quiet Place.
Okay, that's an honorable mention.
Okay. I really liked A Quiet Place. I didn't know if they were going to be able to pull off the whole, you got to be quiet type thing, and it was John Krasinski's directorial debut, I think.
No, I think he directed a movie or two before that.
And then his wife is his wife in the movie, and Emily Blunt, yeah. And they actually went out and got an actual deaf actor to play the little girl.
Yeah,
and
she was great in it.
The creatures you're going to find on my list. I am more terrified by things that you can't see. Mm-hmm. I really like that whole shtick a lot of times, and I like when they build tension by not showing you what you're afraid of. That's why I like something like Jaws, or just like a lot of things. I really like when you can build tension without showing you the horror. So
yeah, I love this movie. This is a better version of Signs, and this was in my top 5 last year, my top 10. So I love this movie.
But yeah, that's another one of your honorables. Is that it for me? Oh no, I got an 8. My 8 is Don't Breathe. I don't know if you ever went and saw this.
Yes, I didn't go see it, but I saw it eventually on TV.
This is another film I was like blown away by. Stephen Lang is this blind, just older guy living in this house, and you got these hooligans. They break in thinking, it's going to be an easy score. This dude's blind, and the hunters become the hunted is basically what happens in this film, and it's so well done. It's super creepy, and I really like this movie. Does it get a little weird at the end? Sure, but I liked it, and we're totally going to get a sequel to this movie eventually because they left it open for one hardcore. But I liked it.
It's been a while though, so we may not.
It's been a while because this did come out in 2016. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was good. Fede Alvarez. It's because he's been moving on to other stuff, but yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked the kid from 13 Reasons Why in it.
Yeah, I forgot what is that kid's name. I don't know, but yeah. It was good.
All right, is that your 10 through 8?
That is my 10 through 8.
All right, my number 7 is a movie that has been on a lot of our top 10s.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, and it was just on our Brad Pitt list. My number 7 is Seven.
Yeah, I guess you could consider this a horror movie.
It is. I mean, it's more of a. It has the thriller moments in there more than anything, but horror thriller kind of get mixed in together. And to be honest with you, if I didn't throw in thriller, I would have really had a real hard time making this list.
Yeah.
And I mean, the scene at the end, or whenever he's at the police station, Kevin Spacey has blood all over him, and then the scene in the box, you're just like, holy crap. I mean, what's in the bags? What's in the bags? What's in the bags?
It's a very gory movie when they're going into all the different crime scenes and stuff, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's why it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
All them going to the crime scenes, and
there's these people you're like, man, how could people be so evil?
Yeah. And like I said last time we did our top 10 Brad Pitt. Without this movie, you don't get Fight Club, you don't get The Social Network, you don't get the other great dad, you don't get Gone Girl. So I love this movie, and that's why I had to put it at 7.
Okay.
My number 6 is I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to say this is a combination of the first and second movie. My number 6 is It.
Okay. That is also my number 6.
Woohoo!
And I went with the first movie, but I'm kind of the same with you.
I'm combining them together.
Because I like them both equally.
I'm just calling it It because it's two movies.
Okay.
It's one movie together. I love this movie.
Yep.
I love both of them. The first scene of the first movie, whenever he is going down with the little kid and with Georgie, and I'm just sitting there in the theater, like I'm just like, and then he goes down. His head becomes a xenomorph from Alien. It just bites his whole fucking arm off, and I was just sitting there going like, "Oh my god!" And then there was a scene in the second movie whenever under the bleachers, whenever he's drooling, and I was so scared, and then he just bites the girl's head off, and I was just like, "Holy crap!"
I really like the first film because it plays on each of their fears, and he becomes what they fear most. Which sometimes it's things that you wouldn't think would be scary, like a painting on the wall, but when it comes to life, you're like, "Holy shit, that is freaky!"
Yeah.
Or a weird haunted house that you walk by every day, or I like that, but I'm with you. I like them both.
Yeah,
so good.
And it's cool
like
because
one giant
the
movie.
kid actors, it feels like they become the adults.
Yeah.
Like even the character actors, I don't even know who they are. Not the Jessica Chastains, not the Bill Haders, not the James McAvoy. The other ones, I've never really seen anything before. Thought they did a really good job, and I really bought that. Yeah, that's who that guy becomes. That's who that guy becomes. That's who that guy becomes. So, and I just really, really enjoyed the movie.
Me too.
So yeah, it had to be my top 10. So,
All right.
what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Crawl.
Okay.
I've raved about this movie a lot this year. I could not put it on the list because it's my highest rated horror movie ever. And it's more like in the vein of a Jaws or a Jurassic Park, or, it's a creature survival film, but it is super scary because there's tons of jump scares. I would be scared if I was trapped in under this crawl space with a bunch of damn alligators. I just freaking love this film. I talked about it 2 or 3 times already this year. You need to watch this because it's freaking good. It's amazing, tension building film, and deserves to be on the list.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yeah.
So, all right. My number 5 is the other Alfred Hitchcock movie on this list.
Okay.
And this is a film that inspired the entire genre.
Okay.
My number 5 is Psycho.
Oh.
So, Psycho...
Not the Christian Bale one.
Not the Christian Bale one. That's American Psycho.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So Psycho, it's Alfred Hitchcock, who basically from some of the stuff I already listen or I watch on the documentary about on the movie or the movie show on CNN this year, they're talking about a lot of Hitchcock films, and they talked about Psycho a lot because Psycho basically Hitchcock he put in a lot of his own money because none of the studios want him to do it. Now none of them would actually pay for it, so he spent a lot of his money on it, and the movie turned into a cult classic. Still kind of is a cult classic. I don't love the movie, but I appreciate it's kind of like Us in the same kind of scenario. The movie is so well directed. I mean, the story of it is you have this girl who she steals all this money and she's going off away from the world and going to start a new life, and she stops at this hotel and basically she gets murdered in the shower. And this is the character you see in the first 30-40 minutes of the movie, and the main character, she's dead. So where you go from there, and that's why I call this movie it's just so masterfully directed. And also a little hindsight note is the girl who plays who gets murdered in the shower. You've probably seen that scene at least with the the girl getting killed in the shower.
Okay.
She is the mom of the girl who plays the main character in the Halloween films.
Oh.
So it's kind of I forget what her name is. So this is it's just incredibly done. And then the killer is just very interesting over a lot of other horror movies. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it.
Does he kill his wife?
There is no wife thing. Basically, the main character, they keep thinking it's his mom, but it's actually the guy he has a personality disorder, and it's his mom. It's like in his head, basically. And so he puts on a wig and puts on his mom's dress and starts killing people. And it's been very inspirational to other horror movies like Friday the 13th. The killer was Jason's mom. The first Friday the 13th, Jason's mom was the killer, which it plays on to Psycho. And it's just I can't do a top 10 horror movie list without putting Psycho in there. So that's why it's in my top 10.
All right. My number 5 is Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Cool.
Cracking the top 5. I may be the only person that would probably put this movie in my top 5. Came out in 2016. 2016 was a good year for horror movies. I gave this movie a 4.5 when it came out. It freaking spooked the shit out of me. It was super scary. It was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, to be honest with you. It's really cool. It takes place like back in the day when I don't remember what the year, the decade is, but I think it's like the 60s or something. And these kids play around with a Ouija board. Not a good idea. You kind of get the origin stories of the Ouija board, which is kind of cool. And it's freaking creepy as all get out. I suggest it. I highly suggest it if you want to be scared, because it's scary. That's my number 5.
Okay. I've never seen it, so I have no comments on it.
Yeah.
My number 4 is a film that just came out last year. Similar to Upgrade, kind of, I guess. But my number 4 is Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
This is the sequel to the first Halloween movie because they basically said after last year, they said, all right, all the Halloween movies after the first movie never happened. So we're going to call this new Halloween the sequel to the first Halloween. Halloween.
And then the next one's Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends.
Yeah. I don't love the first Halloween movie. I appreciate it. I mean, this is our theme of the episode because you can't kind of... I mean, the Halloween theme is so iconic.
It's good.
Which is actually done by John Carpenter, the director of the movie.
I think we could have went with another one.
Do what?
I think we could have went with another one.
What?
I can't tell you yet.
Okay. But I love the Halloween theme, and one of the things I love about slasher films is whenever you're starting to hear the music, it means the killer's getting closer. And I love this movie because it takes the opening scene of this movie. They're at the psycho ward, and the doctor or the guy who's a journalist, he's interviewing. He's trying to talk to Michael, and he pulls out the mask, and then you have all the people around him are just laughing. It's so creepily done. It's just incredible. And then also it's very similar. This movie is very similar to Terminator 2. Where she is basically she has been training ever since that night she escaped Michael from the first movie. She's just been training, preparing for whenever he's going to come back, and so she can finally kill him in this nightmare. And how it has ruined her life. How this she's a victim who's completely ruined her life. And it's just such an enjoyable little horror movie, and I loved it last year. I was raving about the movie last year, if you remember, and yeah, it's just such a good movie, and I was surprised how much I liked it because I didn't care for the original, but I love the sequel.
I haven't watched the new one yet, and I mean, I don't think I've seen the original. This might be something later on I might end up watching, but I don't know. I've never been a big Halloween fan.
I hear you.
It's hard to get into. My turn, I guess.
Yep.
My number 4 is what you called overrated earlier. Signs, one of the greatest. This is my second favorite M. Night movie. My first favorite is Unbreakable, and it's not really a horror movie. Signs is in masterclass mode at building tension without showing you these freaking aliens, and yet you're terrified of them. Mm-hmm. It feels like what would happen if there was an actual alien invasion on this planet. And I always harken back to, and I'm sure I've talked about it on this podcast before, but when he goes in, the actual scene where M. Night's actually in the movie, he goes to his house, and M. Night says, I trapped one in the pantry or something, and Mel Gibson goes down there, and he's trying to look under the door, and so he's using a knife to see the reflection. And that is one of the scariest effing things. I remember going to see this movie, and I did not want to be near cornfields. I didn't want to be near... I was going to be like Joaquin Phoenix walking around with the tinfoil hat because that movie freaked the crap out of me. And I think it's pretty damn good.
Okay. I mean, I just don't love the movie.
The
ending, I think it's a good movie. I don't care for the twist.
I mean, it's M. Night. You got to go with those twists.
Some of those, like the Unbreakable twist, Sixth Sense twists are good, and the Split was twist was great as well. This one, just. And then the twist of The Last Airbender. You know what the twist of The Last Airbender is?
That it sucks?
It's really terrible. What's the twist?
That wasn't a twist. It just sucked.
Alright, so my number 3 is a movie which is responsible for an entire genre of film, and that is the Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. Okay.
I mean, I love this movie. I mean, it is a story about zombies, but it also has another message. I mean, the main star lead is a black guy, and how the story of it is about how these about how they're all stuck in this house, and these people, like, their zombies are going for the house. And this movie has one more iconic lines in Hollywood: "They're coming to get you, Barbara." And it's cool. It's a cool little horror movie. How it created an entire genre of zombie films with George A. Romero.
First zombie film?
I believe it is. So there might have been a classic one from the 1930s or 20s, because Universal had their huge run of like Frankenstein, Dracula. If you're not counting all those, I don't think there was a zombies movies in those. But Romero really created the genre about the slow moving zombies. And at the end of the movie, you see these the movie, it talks a lot about segregation. So it had a really cool little message in there as well. And basically, you have these people that come in. They're these hillbillies that are killing all these zombies, and they see a black guy. They think he's a zombie. They shoot him. So yeah, this is a good movie. I really like it. I recommend watching it.
Cool. Never seen it. Probably goes below my 1980 rule.
It's a 1960s movie. It's black and white. It's a really good one though. I really especially how much you like zombie movies.
I do like zombie
If we ever do zombie lists,
I've seen like probably every remake of George R. Romero's zombie movies, but I've never actually gone and watched the originals.
Yeah, I mean, if we keep this podcast going long enough, we'll eventually do top 10 zombies movies. So you'll have to.
Then I might have to watch one.
You might have to watch this one, and that's my number 3.
All right, my number 3, sliding in right at the top of my 1980 list, is 1980's The Shining. That's my number 3.
Okay. I didn't see it.
I thought you were going to watch this movie.
I was going to. I just got lazy.
Damn it. Now I can't even talk about it with you.
I watched about 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the movie. Liked what I watched. I was just like, I just don't feel like watching this.
Well, I won't go into spoils then. Spoils. I really enjoyed the film.
Cool.
It's really good. It's got great music. It's got some very iconic scenes and stuff. But you basically got this guy. He's a writer. He goes up into the mountains to take care of this hotel for the winter. And the owner's like, oh, yeah, and by the way, this guy killed his whole family here, like about 80 years ago, I think is what it is. And, it's just because he was, went insane. No big deal. Whatever. And then you've got this kid who's got some kind of ability.
Yeah.
And, that's your movie. There's lots of creepy stuff going on. And
or it's like, the blood in the hallways, the twin girls. I mean, they do that, if you remember Ready Player One.
I was remembering the Ready Player One
Of course,
scenes.
if you also go back to The Shining, Stephen King hates this movie.
I know, but he did just tweet that he loved Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to the book of this movie. It's based off the book, which is the sequel to this movie, or the original movie.
It's a sequel to this movie. Yeah, it's Dr. Sleep. It's the book. It's the sequel of the movie.
Anyway,
okay, you good?
I enjoyed it. It's creepy. There are things that I feel like modern day horror movies I enjoy more because they creep me out more. For one thing, like I didn't really find this movie very scary. But other than that, I thought it was just really well directed. There was all kinds of cool shots.
And you know who directs this movie, right?
It's Kubrick, right?
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
And there are some shots in this movie. It was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And it's just got this really. I love a good like haunted house kind of film. I remember I was the one that liked the Haunting the Hill House on Netflix. I liked that movie by Del Toro that everybody hated, which was a haunted house movie.
You're talking about Crimson Peak.
Yeah, The Peak was
I hate
Del
that
Toro movie. And
I hated that movie.
There's one movie called The Haunting, I think, which was a haunted house movie. I don't know. I just like that whole thing where you're kind of just going into a house and figuring stuff out, and here's Johnny.
Yep.
There was some stuff that me and Kia were making fun of towards the end, but like I said, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't scared because a lot of the stuff I kind of heard of, and I don't know, but the little boy,
pop culture moments,
and his imaginary friend, whew, Red Rob.
Okay.
Not going to be able to take that.
So it did scare you?
There was parts.
Yeah.
It just didn't scare me enough compared to some of these other movies on my list. But I did enjoy it, and I'm definitely looking forward to now the Dr. Sleep. Yeah. So I can't believe you didn't watch this.
Yeah. I tried to watch it. I just wasn't feeling it at the time. I'm gonna watch it before the movie comes out, and I'll probably watch it this October. So, All right, let's move on to my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is my favorite slasher film on this list, and it's also kind of pays no homage to other slasher films.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Scream.
Scream, yep.
I love this
Saw
movie.
this on a lot of people's lists.
I love this movie. This is absolutely incredible. I mean, the opening part of the movie is you have Ghostface calling the girl who is like, you like horror movies, and then how they're basically going after the girl, and the movie breaks so many horror cliches. Like, one, they don't kill the black guy. One, the virgin always lives. In this movie, the main girl, she has sex, which means she's gonna die. And I love Ghostface and how they reference all kinds of other horror movies like Halloween to Psycho. And I watched this movie this year, absolutely fell in love with it. And I watched a sequel, just as good as the first one, not as good, but I really like it. And the Scream 2 has it has a 22 Jump Street kind of thing to it, where it basically is saying, the sequel is never as good as the original, and it went through the entire genre from like Godfather Part 2 to Empire Strikes Back.
Who's in this movie?
Crap, what's her name?
Neve Campbell? No?
I don't remember. So,
anyways, I think I've seen this. When you talk about it, I remember a lot of it.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix right now.
I haven't seen it in a long-ass time. I couldn't remember hardly anything about it, so that's why it's not on my list. It might truly be, like, top 3 worthy. I don't know, but
and it's also really funny, too. Yeah. So, and
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Yeah, it's such a good horror movie. I love it. That's my number 2.
Okay. My number 2, I went with The Conjuring 2.
Okay.
Because I really like the Conjuring movies, the 2 of them, but I like the second one better.
You don't like Annabelle.
Well, I don't...
You don't like The Nun.
I don't like The Nun. The last Annabelle movie was pretty good. The prequel one was meh. It's the Conjuring franchise, the Conjuring universe, or whatever they're calling it. It's kind of hit or miss, but the first 2 Conjuring movies I think are really good. They're really freaking scary. I think these are very scary movies. This is my more modern day horror movie thing. And James Wan, is it James Wan? Yes, James Wan directs the crap out of these films. I'm not big in like exorcist stuff. That's kind of why I think I like this one better, because the first one has all the exorcism stuff in it. This one doesn't. This one's got the nun in it and stuff, but. It creeps me out. It's hard to sit in the movie theater with these because they're so damn scary to me. Yeah. But I like The Conjuring. So
to be honest with you, I saw.
You saw this one, I know.
I saw the second one. I never saw the first one. So this one's on Netflix right now. I watched the second one, and I was watching because you don't really have to watch the first one to.
No, because it's a separate story.
It's just bringing in those characters who are investigating another paranormal activity kind of thing going on. I was watching the second movie. I remember I was watching it in the Princeton Theater. That could also be part of why I didn't really enjoy the movie. I was like, you know what? This is technically a great movie, but I want to get up and get out of this movie because I just do not like this genre. And acting-wise, it's good. The characters are good. The horror stuff is good. It's just
not your cup of tea.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, well, we're only going to have one honorable mention. So...
One honorable mention.
Yeah, or one commonality.
All right.
Well, my number 1, usually when you create lists, you have one movie you're thinking of, and then you go from there.
Okay.
My number 1's Jaws.
Oh, dang. We would have had 2 commonalities if I didn't bump it out for us.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was my number 11.
Jaws is just, this is Steven Spielberg, one of his first few movies he did. And the things I love about this movie, it just kind of shows, don't give up, don't ever give up when you're doing a movie, because everything that could have gone wrong in this movie went wrong. The shark did not work in salt water, and so they're like, well, we could just have this little shadowy thing, we could play the theme music, and the Jaws theme, the do 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 do. It's a horror movie.
Yep.
This is complete,
definitely.
This is a complete and utter horror movie.
Yeah.
And anyone who says this isn't a horror movie is full of crap.
Oh, it definitely is.
Because this is my favorite horror movie. And also, it has the shark taking out, it's man versus nature in a part. The shark's taking out all these people at the beach, and the stupid bear who's like, we're not cats on 4th of July. And then also, it's just such an incredibly enjoyable Spielberg film. And then the stuff at the end, where you were thinking like, oh, this is going to be a straight up action, and then you hear about the captain and how he talks about how he was on the Arizona, and you're like, damn, this has just become a completely different movie in general. This was just a fun, cool summer blockbuster movie, one of the first big summer blockbusters, but it turned into something completely other. It's one of my top 10 Spielberg movies, and it's my favorite horror movie on this list.
All right. Well, I enjoy it as well. It's definitely they do a great job of building suspense without showing you the shark. They had to do that because of those technical glitches you're talking about,
which makes the movie so much better.
I agree. All right, my number one, I went with Paranormal Activity, specifically number 2.
Okay.
I think Paranormal Activity movies kind of revolutionized the horror genre when the first one came out. I remember going and seeing it. That dude made that movie for $100,000, if I remember correctly, and it became this worldwide phenomenon and this hit. It's incredible what you can do, and this is another movie, this whole franchise really, which I've only seen the 3 main movies. I didn't go see marked ones. But this main movie, it's all about fearing what you can't see. You know, the way they film these movies, they just stick cameras in a house, move doors and stuff, and it makes you really horrified. I had nightmares about these films when I went and saw them in theaters, because there's nothing in them. You never see a ghost. You never. All you see, you hear things, and you see doors and stuff swinging, and people getting yanked out of their beds, and it creeps you the crap out. And on such a small budget, I think it's pretty revolutionary. The second one, I've effing love the second one.
This is what gave Blumhouse their name.
But yeah, for me it's 2, 3, 1. But I love the 3 movies. I never watched Mark ones because it got so just ripped apart.
You know, didn't they ruin the movies, or was it the Mark ones? What was the one?
The Mark ones is where they quit, where they went away from the whole franchise thing, which was like fixed cameras where you just see what's going on. It was like actually had a story, and it was.
But then wasn't there a camera that actually showed where the ghost was, and that kind of ruins the whole.
Yeah, you don't want to see the ghost. Yeah, that's what I heard, that you see it, and there's some kind of portal or something. I don't know. I heard that we are going to get a normal paranormal, like they're going to go back to their roots and for whatever number they're on now, but to me, I just want to.
There's been like 6 of them.
So. I just want to stick with my original 3 and marvel at their greatness and not go any further. But yeah, that's what I went with, because I went with what scared me out of my living mind, and that was Paranormal Activity. So
all right, so let's get
put
to
these
this
lists
list
together.
All right, we only have one commonality, and that's it. So we just put that at 6, I guess.
Yeah, because that was our 6.
Yeah. So,
it's crazy that our one commonality was the exact same number on both of our lists.
So, I mean, like, the only other time we've only had one commonality was our comedy list.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, I mean, there's a lot of horror movies, and we don't watch a lot of horror movies, so it's bound to happen.
There's some I wanted to see, like I wanted to watch The Exorcist. I've heard that's one of the more scariest movies of all time.
I just don't get into that kind of. I don't like exorcism. What I wanted to watch was The Thing, which we kind of spoiled earlier, and I didn't get time to do it. But I did get time to watch The Shining, and I'm glad I did.
If I had any time, I would have watched I would probably watch the first Friday the 13th, and then probably The Shining, and maybe The Exorcist if I could have found it. All right, let's get to this list. Okay. What should we put at 1?
I don't know. What are we going to do, man?
I mean, you had Jaws at 11.
I did.
You said it almost made your list. So
you've never seen a Paranormal Activity.
I've never seen a Paranormal
All right,
Activity.
fine. Do it. Okay. Do it.
Do it. All right. All right, I'll give you Paranormal Activity at 2.
Okay.
Is it Activity...
Paranormal Activity 2.
Okay, it was Activities 2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, at 2 I had Scream. You had Conjuring 2 at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get Scream at 2 or 3? I mean,
sure.
Okay, I love that movie.
Because I remember it. I don't remember it being this, but it was on everybody's list when I was looking at people's lists. I was like, I don't remember this movie being that amazing.
You should watch it tonight.
Yeah, right.
All right, Conjuring 2 at 4.
Okay.
I'll give you What was your
The
number?
Shining is my
I'll
number
give you.
3.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll probably love it when I watch it.
Yeah, I think you will.
All right.
Jack Nicholson, out of his effing mind in that movie.
I mean, he's just a great actor, an all-time great actor. All right. I had Night of the Living Dead at 3, so I'm gonna put that at 7.
Okay.
Living Dead. All right. We have 3 spots left. What's the next movie you want on your list?
Signs. That was my 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. What's your 4?
All right, my 4 is Halloween.
Oh, okay.
All right, we have 1 spot left.
I'll give it to you because mine's Ouija.
Do it.
When no one has Ouija, I'll give you it.
Okay, so I'll put Psycho at 10.
Okay.
Since kind of fitting.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only person on the planet that likes the Ouija movie as much as I do. So
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
All right, so let's get to this announcement of this. The top 10 horror movies. Yeah. At number 10, Psycho. At number 9, Halloween. At number 8, Signs. At number 7, Night of the Living Dead. At number 6, It. At number 5, The Shining. At number 4, The Conjuring 2. At number 3, Scream. At number 2, Paranormal Activity 2. And the number 1 horror movie is Jaws. Alright, that's an interesting list of some movies I'll probably not watch, and some movies I just don't want to revisit again. So, any honorable mentions?
Oh yeah, I did have a few. I had Jaws at 11. Jurassic Park I wanted to throw in there. Cabin in the Woods. It was on everybody's list, but I kept thinking, to me, Cabin in the Woods, it's more of a parody. Like, I don't know. To me, it didn't seem like a normal horror movie. It's more of a comedy to me. The Blair Witch Project, the first one, I do like that movie. 28 Days Later was going to be my zombie movie, but still, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
The Descent is a very underrated movie about a group of girls who go in a cave. It's creepy as all get out. I had Sixth Sense, and I had the others.
Okay, I have Dial In for Murder, which I talked about earlier. Get Out. There's just some really great horror movies in Get Out.
Yep.
Shaun of the Dead. It's not a horror movie, but it does zombies.
Yeah.
Split. There's some cool little imagery in there that I really like.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy kidnaps some girls and is eating them.
Yeah.
Zombieland.
Yeah.
Movie coming out this month. Us and In a Quiet Place.
All right.
Alright guys, that is episode 93 of the Easy K Show. Check us out here every week on the YouTube channel for the Easy K Show. Until next time, all too easy.
Peace out.